The second issue we're going to examine in our spreadsheet is how many votes are lost during the electoral process. In other words, how many votes don't really matter. So I click column I. I'm going to insert a column to the left, insert left again, and these columns we can title Democratic votes lost, and then the Republican votes lost. Okay, so in the Democratic column, type in the equal sign to start a formula, the letters I and F for if, and start parentheses. So now we're going to say if this column K is blank, so I scroll over to K, this is cell K2, I type in equals again, and this is where we enter in two quote signs that tells us if K2 is blank. Then what we're going to do is count the Democratic votes for that state. So I scroll over to M2. Then I enter a column, otherwise leave this blank, right? Close parentheses. So what just happened? Well, it counted all the Democratic votes that were lost in Alabama, right? And if we scroll this formula down all the way, let's look how it works to make sense of it. So you notice it's counting numbers sometimes and leaving numbers blank at other times. So for example, in California, if we double click, we can see the formula. It says if case 6 is blank. So here's case 6 right here. Well, it's not blank, right? Why is it not blank? Well, it's not blank because all the votes went to Obama. So what it did was it left the cell blank. Because if this thing is not blank, then it doesn't return any values. But if it is blank, then it gives you the Democratic votes lost. We can do the same thing for Republicans. Equal sign if, parentheses, scroll over, and this cell, this is the column L here, this is the electoral votes for Romney. If this is blank, right, then return the value for Republicans, N2. Otherwise, leave it blank. So what this will do now is it'll give us all of the states where Republican votes were not counted, right? So for example, in California, again, where all the votes went to Obama and no Democratic votes were lost, all the Republican votes for that state that went through were lost. Now at the bottom here, at the bottom what we can do is total all the votes lost. Click this row, insert a row below it, right? This can be our totals. And I might put that in bold. So I click this row, click Command or Control B for bold. So here, if I want to count all of the Democratic votes lost, I type in equals sum, S-U-M, parentheses, and then I just scroll up. I hold Shift, or you can use your mouse to scroll up to get the whole column there, and press Enter. And it gives me the total number of Democratic votes lost. Here, same thing for Republican votes, right? Type in equals sum, and then I scroll up and get all those numbers there. Hit enter, and I see all the Republicans' votes lost. So in this election, there were quite a few votes lost.